All right, here we go. Cool guy, terrible in bed. Oh, Jesus. All right. Dear Billy Bush Beer, I'm a 20-year-old female college student. I go to Holy Cross. You said is. I go to Holy Cross. Okay. I go to Holy Cross in Worcester. I had a boyfriend for the first 3 years of college, and now I'm single. I hooked up with a guy that I didn't know was kind of an asshole. He's sort of popular and seemed friendly. One drunken night, I did the worst thing I could do, fed his ego. Had I known he was a moron and a pompous douchebag, I would not have done this. I'll save you the reasons why he's a douchebag, but just picture lame 80s preppy bully who thinks he's God's gift. Again, I didn't know this because I'd never paid attention to him. Well, after we hooked up, he told some people that I told him he was the best fuck I ever had. This found its way back to me, and Bill, I was shocked. Why? Because he was the worst fuck I ever had. He had no idea what he was doing. He was, for lack of better words, not present. No rhythm and average at best. I wasn't mad at this because it was my choice to hook up with him, but now he's putting words in my mouth. I really just want to tell someone how bad he was and wait for it to get back around to him. What is my move here, Bill and or Nia? Well, wait a minute. Did you say he was? Wait. One drunken night, I did the worst thing I could do. Feed his stupid ego. Does that mean that you slept with him? I can't tell if you, by feed his ego, he was so bad you felt like you had to say something nice. No, there's no fucking way there's no way you said he was the best fuck. I think you're saying, yeah. Yeah, I think you're saying that you fed his ego by hooking up with him. Had I known he was a moron and a pompous dude. Okay, so he's walking around saying that you said, and you're also saying he's putting words in your mouth. So I'm assuming that you never said that. So fed his ego means that you fucking hooked up with him. That's what I'm guessing. I don't fucking know. Christ, they speak in riddles. I wasn't mad at this because, this is a tough one. I would call him up. And when he picked up, I'd be like, why are you walking around saying that I said you were the best fuck I ever had? I never said that. Okay? I never said that. Okay? And hear what he says. And you know something? There might be a thing. This is the thing. A lot of these guys like this are tremendously insecure. Maybe he knows he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So he's walking around saying that so he can feel better about himself because he feels that awful about himself. And he feels so fucking awful about himself that not only does he got to go that big, that the fucking way he feels about himself is such a big thing that he doesn't even think that that's going to get back to you. Or he doesn't even consider your fucking feelings. So, you can either be the biggest person and know that this person is tremendously insecure and walks around and probably doesn't like themselves, which is a fucking horrible feeling to have, and just take peace with that. Or you can call the guy out, which I kind of like. Okay? And and at that point you gotta be, listen, if you were the best fuck I ever had, I would have said that to you. And just leave it at that, because you haven't told him that he's completely fucking inept. You know what I mean? But you're also kind of putting the guy in check. And then you have your final option, which is you can go around saying that he wasn't the best fuck I ever had. He's fucking terrible. And then you know what happens is everybody just gets to sit back and enjoy watching you guys fucking do this shit. I understand why you'd want to do it. I don't know. I don't do the revenge thing. I kind of go to the person that's doing whatever they're doing that's fucking annoying me, and I just kind of chop the head off there. And then if somebody comes up to me and says what they said, I would say, I would just say to them personally, yeah, that isn't true. I never said that. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm sorry that this happened to you. And at 20 years of age, it's probably hard to understand a lot of the shit that I'm saying of what that guy feels about himself. But, you can't have somebody walking around saying shit like that about you. So I would, first thing I would do, I would confront the guy, call him up and be like, why are you saying that? I never said that. And if you continue to say that, and if he kind of goes around, just be, look, if you continue to say that, you're leaving me in a position here that I have to tell them the truth. Okay? You're not the best fuck I ever had. All right? I don't know. I don't know. That's a, guys, if you listen to this thing and you're a young person, that's such a fucking asshole thing to do. All right? That's totally coming from your own goddamn insecurity. All right? And as an older, wiser fucking man, I wish that somebody older told me that when you hook up with somebody, you keep your fucking mouth shut. You know what I mean? You're quiet about it. It happened. Who gives a fuck? Who knows? You know what I mean? It's an insecure fucking move. And just sit there and then she did this and then did that and she fucking did this. Like, that's a really fucking asshole thing to do. And women, if you hook up with the guy and he's fucking terrible or he's got a little dick and all that type of shit, right? If he's not out there talking shit for you to walk around fucking doing that too, that's another fucking asshole move. It's an asshole move either way. And in this case, the guy's the asshole. So, I don't know. You know something? If you can hang on until Thursday, I'll run it by Nia. I'll have her on again and I'll run it by her. It's just that she's still sleeping here. Oh, Jesus, here's a big question. Will I ever get laid? All right, dear Bill, I'm currently in an emotional quandary. I'm 19 and I've never been laid. That's not bad. He said I was homeschooled my entire life by strict religious parents. All right, that's bad. Who shielded me from girls. My sister, who's 21 years old, was my only window to the female world. She would always have female friends around and many of them hit on me. I even made out / felt up one of them. So you're in the game. You scored a couple of buckets. You're on the scorecard. He said, which was my only sexual experience ever. So although sheltered, my outlook is bright, right? Then he says, wrong. 3 years ago, I mysteriously developed severe social anxiety to the point I can barely go to public places. Around this time, my parents kicked my sister out of the house because she left Christianity. Oh, yeah, that's inevitable. So she moved in with a friend. So now not only am I paralyzed with anxiety, but now the well has dried up since she left and I have no female circulating around in my life. This is how my life has been since 2013, and I don't know how many more years of it I can take. I'm not at the point where, I think you meant to say I'm now at the point, right? Where, what do I do? I would deal with your social anxiety first. I mean, your parents allow you to go outside, right? So what I would do is you just give yourself some small goals. Just go out, go to the store, go buy something and come home. That's it. Do that. You just gradually increase. It's like flying. When you get your pilot's license, what you do is you just keep gradually increasing the area that you're familiar with and comfortable flying in. You don't just get your pilot's license and just start flying all over the fucking place. You're nervous, you're scared, right? So you just gradually keep increasing your area. So that's what I would do. And then once you get comfortable with the area, then you add more shit to it. There's a woman behind the counter, say hello to her or some shit, little things, and dude, you're gonna be fine. The fact that you're living under those severe conditions and you still made out with the chick and felt her up, I mean, dude, you're crushing it. You're being way too hard on yourself. You're only 19. You got your whole life ahead of you. You know? I'm telling you. You're in a great position. Just, just work on it a little bit. You'll be fine. You'll totally be fine. And the fact that, she's bringing these girls over and they're fucking hitting on you. I mean, that never happened to me. Women, oh my God. I had to spin plates and fucking all kinds of shit to try to get them to pay attention to me. So you're way better, in a way better situation than I was when I was 19. So just know that, people always have it worse than you. Just go easy on yourself. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Probably get laid by the time you're fucking 20. Just go out and say hello to people, right? You got women coming over, throwing themselves at you. I mean, am I supposed to feel bad for you? I want to be you. You're 19 and you got women hitting on you. Dude, you're a fucking rock star. All right, old toys. Dear Billy Potato Head. I love that. That's a good one because that kind of shits on my Irish heritage and then also makes fun of the shape of my head. If you ever have kids, will you try and expose them to toys that you enjoyed as a child? You strike me as a Matchbox car kid. I don't force the toys of my childhood on my kids, but I've put a couple army men in their general area to give them a chance to play like I did. I am a huge agreeer of that, proponent of that, opponent of that, proponent. Oh, that's what proponent means. You're pro, right? I never knew what that meant. I just kind of figured that out. Opponent, proponent. Oh, pumpkin bread, pro pumpkin bread. I get it. Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely will do that. My big thing is playing catch. And, I'm going to buy a lefty glove for myself is what I'm going to do. Because I can throw a little bit with my left hand, and rather than just sitting there firing it into my kid, I'm going to go with the left hand. We were doing that yesterday. We had a football, right? This place that we're renting here has this fucking great pool. So it was halftime of the Florida game, and we're out there smoking cigars and shit. And when we finished that up, we got the game turned up loud. So the game there was 4 guys, right? So you had 2 on one side of the pool, 2 on the other side of the pool. So you had to throw with your opposite hand. First person that sent it into the pool, or if you had a catchable ball and it fell into the pool, was I don't know, whatever the fuck it was that thing, that word you can't fucking say anymore because everybody gets offended. And it's not a racial slur, but it is. You know the word. Nobody said it, but we all knew. Without saying, we're older guys. Like that's what it means. So, anyways, yeah, I would definitely do that. I was not a Matchbox car kid. I was Corgi cars. We used to call them Corgi because we didn't know it was pronounced Corgi until we got older. And I'm so old that I remember when they had rubber wheels on them. And I had the giant oil truck. I was big. I had all the race cars. I had the Johnny Player Special. I had the Jackie Stewart Elf car. And my mother doesn't throw out shit, so I still have all of them. I had one of those, that kind of racing where the car just looks like a giant doorstop. It wasn't Formula One. It's not IndyCar racing. It's not open wheel. The car looks like a water slide. Like you could slide from the fin all the way down to the front. I don't know what kind. I had a white and red one of those. Lincoln Logs, Lego blocks, stuff like that. I think it's big to not have to keep your kids, I don't know. You got to get them outside. And you gotta keep them in their own. Like I don't know. I have such a hatred of computers and iPads and all of that shit. And kids just love them. I mean, they go up to it like, liquid television type of shit. Back in the day, the MTV. I remember that graphic. It used to just make me want to sit down and watch it. I don't know, Mr. Potato Head. I don't know about that. Definitely like board games. I think it'd be fun playing cards. I think it's cool to expose your kids to that. you know, so they have like that old school shit. Like, wasn't it always the greatest? Like when, like, for me, if I met some woman, I took her out on a date, and she had some old school stuff about her. You know what I mean? That stuff that was sort of passed down. I think that's really like a cool thing. And I think like some shit like playing cards, playing catch, like going outside. It's just like, you know, riding bicycles. Just like all that shit is going away. And I'm not one of these old people that I look at young kids and be like, you know, what are they doing today? They're fucking nuts. And these kids today, they don't get it. And it's just like, I totally get why they're doing it. Because I had to tap out Grand Theft Auto 3 in like 2003 or 2004. I had to unplug my PlayStation and stick it in the back of the closet. I literally just one day, it was like the 5th day in a row, I was just playing all day long, and I could not stop. I had already beat the game. I got the cheats. I did all of that shit. And then I was just going on rampages every night, just shooting up the city. And I just, you know, I kind of just lost everything else in my life. I wasn't writing jokes and all that shit. So that was like 13 years ago. So I can't imagine how amazing the games are, and like the virtual reality goggles and all of that shit. I can't even fucking imagine like how you get your kid to go in the backyard and just have a game of catch. Like, to me, that's the greatest fucking thing ever. I think it's a great way to communicate with your kid. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's another activity going on. So they're not really paying attention. You can praise them when they're doing well, you know, build up their confidence. And then you just slide in. So how's it going at school? You know, and then you just read them. It's going great. All right, so it's going good. If you see them kind of look down, you know, it's all right. What's the matter? What's going on? And they can kind of open up to you. I think it's like a great way to, I think it's really important early on to be able to do that. To have your kid be able to come to you if they have a fucking problem is a huge thing. But, how you sit there with a glove and a ball, and how that competes with putting on fucking reality glasses, and you feel like you're going to fucking base jump off of a building or whatever the fuck they do. I don't know what the fuck they do with those things. Yeah, that's a difficult one. I love Lincoln Logs. I didn't like Lego blocks. You stepped on them in your bare feet, they fucking hurt. Not the Lincoln Logs did, but like that plastic shit. I wasn't into that as much as the Lincoln Logs were cool. We used to fucking build those things. We build houses, and then we would, you know, with that corgi cars, whatever the fuck they're called, drive them around. We'd have traffic jams and all of that type of shit. We had names for everybody that drove the cars. Remember, I had all the fucking race cars in all my, it's weird. They drove like a Formula One car to work, and then they drove the trucks. I had trucks and racing cars. Then my other brother, who's a total fucking gearhead, he actually liked like the real looking cars, like a Volkswagen Bug or like a station wagon. Like he wanted to look like the cars that you could actually fucking drive. I know my mother didn't throw all of those out. Jesus Christ, it's fucking nuts. They're all up in the attic somewhere. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, October 31st, 2016. What's going on? How are you? It's Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween. Oh, happy Halla-fucking-ween. Happy Halla-fucking-ween. Da-da-da. You're a fucking teen. You're too fucking old for candy. What's the cutoff? What's the cutoff tonight when the kids come where you just want to be with some of them and just be like, dude, you're too fucking old. Cleo, get out of here. I'll feed you in a minute. Go on. I'm telling you, my cutoff is somewhere around like fucking 12. You know? Even around 10. They just start saying little wise-ass cunty fucking things. You know, that's the hardest thing about being an adult around a kid is they think they're so fucking smart, and it's just like, douche, I was your age. I've been 10. I've been 12. Okay? Then I've been 20, 30, 40, almost up to 50, all right? You dumb fuck. Do you think I don't know what you're doing? Do you think you're playing with my mind, man? I mean, you just want to say it to him. Do you remember that? You remember? Everybody's got to have that. Do you ever have that fucking adult that just fucking, you know, when your parents weren't looking, just looked at you and just told you to shut the fuck up? It probably doesn't happen nowadays because of all the smartphones and everybody's got a video camera and the kid blogs about it. Next thing you know, you get arrested for, I don't know what. Cleo, get out of here. Go on. You know. But back then, I mean, that's the kind of shit you could do. I remember we were talking in church, me and my brother, and this dude fucking turned around. He goes, shut up. He just said that. He goes, will you shut up? You know, and it's just one of those things, you know, and my mother, then I looked at my mother and she fucking put her eyebrows up like, yeah, well, shut the fuck up. That doesn't happen nowadays. Apparently, you don't talk, you know, that's emotional abuse, verbal abuse. No, your kid needs to shut the fuck up. So what hour do you think, there's that fucking hour where they just stop being cute. You know, they just stop being cute and they get fucking annoying, and then it goes over the hill where it just becomes like, you know, they're coming up to your thing and they got this shit-eating grin smirk on their face. I'm telling you, this fucking year, some kid comes up with a smirk on his face. I go, I'm not giving you any candy because that look on your face. This is what I want to say, but you can't because of that look on your face. And if you do anything to my mailbox or anything like that, I'm going to fucking kill you. All right, you fucking pussy. You don't even know how to drive yet. Get the fuck out of here. All right, but you can't say it. You know, you can't. Not in today's America. Not in today's America. Well, you know what? Trump's going to bring that back. I've had such a bad experience. Like all my life, I've been looking for something. I've been waiting for, like, I couldn't wait to have a fucking house that kids came by to go trick-or-treating. I mean, I moved out, and the first time I lived like in the attic of a fucking old house that they turned into an apartment. It was fucking hilarious, and you had to like walk down the center of the apartment so your head wouldn't hit either side of the fucking roof. And I told you guys this, right? I didn't have a bed. I slept in a sleeping bag, and I would sleep right by the window because we didn't have any AC. And then one night there was like some torrential downpour. I was sitting there dreaming I was on a boat or something about water, and I woke up just soaking wet. And then, you know, it was funny. I ended up catching a cold. And like the next day, it was like July, it was like 89 degrees out or something. And I had a cold like it was fucking November. Oh, God, that fucking sucked. Then I moved back in with my parents, got my shit together. Fucking finally graduated fucking college. And then when I moved out, I ended up going to New York City. And people don't go trick-or-treating in New York City. They have places where they go where all the fucking candy is, and they make sure there's no fucking weirdos there. And then when I finally moved out to L.A., I don't know, people still didn't come to my first apartment. It was when I got my house, you know, 5 years ago. They was just like, all right, now they're going to be coming. And I was fucking loaded for bear. And I did the bit on it. I had the full-size candy bars. Jesus Christ, Cleo, you're driving me nuts. Get over there and lay down. There's no way to be mad at a dog for longer than frustrated more than 3 seconds. Cleo, can you please lay down? Hey, buddy, lay down. Down. Go on. Lay down. There you go. And the follow through. Thank you. I already can tell she's not going to sit there because she's laying down, but she has her ears up and she's just staring at me. You know what it is? I had to get up early to do this fucking podcast because I got a bunch of shit that I need to do. So anyways, people finally started coming to the fucking house, and that's what I found. You know? As soon as the sun goes down, I know we always talk about this, but you got to admit, it's true. The first like hour and a half, it's the cutest fucking kids you've ever seen. The parents are great. You know, it's just like I don't know. It's fucking awesome. The kids are adorable. And then somewhere around, I don't know, between 7 and 8, it starts switching over. and there's just nothing but cunts. Like, after like 8:45, I mean, just everybody you see, it's going to be a bunch of fucking, oh man. You know something? We're renting this fucking house and it's got this crazy driveway. I don't even think anybody's going to come up here. But next year, I promise you guys, I have to fucking, I want to open the door and be like, nah, you guys, you're too old. You're too old. Look, you go buy some candy. Get the fuck out of here. But then you got to worry they're going to fuck up your house. Even if they don't do it that night, they're going to do it another night. Just be like, come on, man, you guys are too old. Maybe I'll just lie and be like, sorry, I'm out of candy. How tall are you? 5 what? Yeah, I'm out of candy. What do you got? Yeah, there's 4. You're not 4'11". Fuck out of here. You're 5'1". Bait it. Or you know what you do is what's the worst kind of fucking candy? What's just a shitty old lady kind of candy? That's what you do. You know, with the fucking fruit in the middle of it, like real fruit. Oh my God. I don't know about you guys. I don't know what grandmothers are like nowadays, but when I was a kid, man, my grandparents had the worst fucking candy. At least one of them did. And then like I had a paper route, and then there was like a bunch of old biddies and shit that, you know, a couple that never got married and shit, or their fucking husband died. And they'd always have like this little candy. Yeah, have a piece of candy, right? And I'd go to bite into, oh God, I didn't know what the fuck it was. It was just horrible. It was like, did they put your perfume in the middle of this shit? I'm sorry. I'm just saying it was disgusting. All right. This election is so fucked up that, it's got really quieted down, huh? After the last fucking debate, if that's what the fuck you want to call it. My big thing this year is I want to know, it's just fucking lose-lose. It's fucking lose-lose at the thing. And you know something, as much as I've been sitting here fucking saying, you know, Trump's a fucking racist and blah, 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 blah. It's just like, well, you know, the Clintons are from Arkansas. So, you know. I don't think they're too fucking enlightened down there either, you know. I know I'm just fucking being stereotypical here, but give me a break. Old Bill and fucking Hillary, they grew up in Arkansas in like the 50s. You might want to go back and look at some of those fucking racist, you know, the racist people screaming at black people, kids going to school for the first time. You might want to try to pick her head out or something like that. Give me a fucking break. You're from Arkansas. I love that shit where just because you're a Democrat, that just means that, you know, that you're not homophobic, you're not racist, or I wear blue. I just don't fucking, or that if you're a Republican, then that automatically means that you want to bury babies in the backyard, you know, unless they're fucking blue-eyed white babies. You know what I mean? Like that whole fucking, you know, into the corporations and all that. They're all fucking cunts. And you know how I know that? Because I'm a cunt too, and I'm somewhere in the middle. I like to think. I definitely lean more fucking left. But I'm also a contrarian, and now I live out here in Hollywood, and I just can't fucking deal with these people out here. And that it's driving me. I don't think it's driving me to the right. It's driving me to say things on the right just to fuck with these people. Like, I love trashing Hillary out here. It's one of my favorite fucking things to do. You know, last night I was fucking around on stage and I was talking about that. I was talking about how, you know, well, Hillary's from fucking Arkansas, everybody. And they all kind of laughed. I go, you know, those fucking flyover states that you guys all shit on out here, you know? And, you know, of course it gets fucking, I don't know, whatever. You know what the big thing is on this ballot is? Wherever the fuck you live, more important than whether that orange-headed fucking racist cunt or that devil woman with her fucking issues, right? She lived in Arkansas in the 1950s. Jesus Christ. Right? Give me a fucking break. Or you know what the biggest fucking thing is? Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. Is all the props, the state propositions, you know? And this is what pisses me off. So I go to this website to try to figure out California's 17 ballot measure propositions explained. All right, and all they do is they sort of explain the thing, but what they don't have, what I cannot find, is all the bullshit that is attached to each one of these propositions. Like, this shit is so fucked up, and I do not understand why this is never addressed. Why on all these propositions, like no means yes, yes means no, and then there's a little bit of maybe in there. And then if you vote for the fucking shit, there's some other measure saying that, you know, yeah, it's okay to fucking stick a baby in a snowbank for fucking, 13 hours until it freezes to death or whatever, however fucking long it would take, I can't find anything that says all the shit that's attached to it. Why can't the fucking ballot just be the proposition just be written clearly so regular people understand it? Yes means yes, no means no, and there's nothing else attached to it. Like they'll say, all right, here we go. Proposition 51 allows the sales of $9 billion in bonds to pay for new kindergarten to 12th grade and community college facilities. The basics. Roughly 6 million students attend K. You know what the fuck it is. Proposition 51 wants to address the needs by allowing the sale of $9 billion in general obligation bonds to pay for buildings and modernizing K-12 and community college. It's the first school bond measure on the state ballot since 2006. It's unusual because it's sponsored by the building industry. Okay, right there. The fact that it's sponsored by the building industry means they're going to charge us up the fucking ass. And in the end, even though they get $9 billion, they're going to come in with the fucking tab of about $15 billion. And then they're going to be like, well, we already started it, so I guess we got to physically move some fucking shit from someplace else. Typically, the legislator would be the path for getting this kind of proposition on the ballot, but it hasn't been able to do so in recent years. Yeah, the fact that the building industry wants to do it, you already know this is crooked as shit. What you're voting on, about $7 billion, nearly 80, see, look at this shit. $7 billion would be allocated to the K-12 thing, and another $2 billion would be for the community college. I got to read all of this shit. Supporters include developers, builders, school board officials, and business groups. I don't like any of those people. All right? Supporters say, many of our schools need repairs and upgrades to make them safe for our children. That's very vague. Proposition 51 will improve education overall and help expand space at community colleges so more students can attend. Opponents say Prop 54 would add to the state debt, which is already more than $400 billion. How the fuck is California $400 billion in debt? Bond measures should be passed locally, giving communities control of how the money is spent. Jesus. I mean, do you feel any closer? All right, so there's one comment. Close the border, eliminate anchor baby citizenship, and reinstitute of all provisions of Proposition 187. And let's talk about building more schools. Sorry, I used to always vote yes on these. Now Sacramento has changed my vote. I always vote no on school bonds. Quid pro quo, baby. What does quid pro quo mean? Where the fuck is it? Quid pro quo meaning. I love that everybody else is as dumb as me. A favor or advantage granted or expected in return for something. That doesn't get me any close to understanding it. Quid pro quo. Jesus fucking Christ. What am I on Law and Order here? Quid pro quo means an exchange of goods or services where one transfer is contingent upon the other. English speakers often, is this tit for tat? Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. English speakers often use the term to mean a favor for a favor. Phrases with similar meanings would include give and take, tit for tat, and you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Quid pro quo. I guess that's the fucking snooty way of saying that shit. Let's go back to close the borders here so I can try to figure out what his fucking point is. Oh, I get it. Close the fucking borders and then I'll give money to this. All right, I see what the guy's saying. I don't know if it's right or not. All right, fuck politics. All right, you know what? I tried. I fucking tried. All right, election. Bill, the election is right around the corner. A couple weeks ago, you eulogized the Great Barrier Reef. Any last words for this election? Not the country as a whole, because I don't think it'll fall apart. But I imagine this has exposed the side of our country that we've been able to keep under wraps for a while, which is that no one ever pays attention to anything unless it's an easy talking point. That everything is more fucked up than we know or would like to admit. What's the worst thing that will happen if either candidate wins? Well, if Trump wins, the worst thing is we're going to have to listen to all these European countries talk about how dumb Americans are, especially people in England. And I just want to say to them, like, you know what? What if you threw out the person every 4 to 8 years? And I would love to see what the fuck you end up with. You know what I mean? Some years it's just not a good draft. The fucking, whatever the fuck his name is, Tony Blair, that guy's been in there since Bush. Not even saying that guy's good, but you just get somebody in there and they just stay there until they die. Doesn't he have like Margaret Thatcher's job? Ugh, the original Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton? Can't even say her fucking name. What's the worst that will happen? I don't know. If Trump wasn't such a fucking jerk off. If he wasn't such a jerk off, it's really what the country needs. You need somebody who isn't a part of the fucking system. You don't, but you just can't have a guy like that in there. And then Hillary is just going to be more of the fucking same. It's just going to keep driving this country towards ruin. Dude, none of them talked about the population problem. None of them talked about the nationwide heroin epidemic. None of them talked about genetically altered food. None of them talked about fucking global warming. Maybe they touched on it for a second. They haven't said shit. They're not going to do anything. None of them are going to try to stop the banks, put them in fucking line. They're building another real estate bubble. I'll tell you what's fucking hilarious out here is they are building up L.A. like I've never fucking seen. They bought up the House of Blues right across the street from the fucking Comedy Store. They paid like $28 million for the thing. They're going to put these high-rise fucking multi-million dollar fucking condos in there. It's like, who the fuck's going to afford to buy those things? All right? And this is the thing. After 2008, after we saw what happened, they fucking gave the houses. None of the bankers went to jail. They gave them the houses back so they could do it all over again. They're building another fucking bubble. And I'm already calling it right now, by fucking 2021, 2022 or some shit, there is going to be a bunch of empty fucking condo fucking high-rises going along the Sunset Strip, and they've knocked down the Rainbow Room, the Roxy, the Whiskey, House of Blues, maybe the Comedy Store. They're going to wipe out all of these fucking things. There's going to be nobody in those buildings. And even if they are in those buildings, they're going to have no fucking place to go because they knocked down all the cool places to hang out on Sunset Strip. It's so fucking stupid. You know, I was getting gas the other day, another place on the Sunset Strip, and this guy said, I said, yeah, you own the gas station? He goes, I wish I did. This property just sold for $14 million. And, you know, they're knocking down the two buildings next to it, and they're going to put up a fucking, 170 unit fucking, I don't know. I just don't know where all these people are going to be coming that can afford to pay. I just don't know where they're going to come from. And for what I heard, at least the ones on La Cienega, that was like oil money. Like Saudi Arabian money came in and they don't give a fuck. I mean, they get money forever. I don't know. What's the worst thing will happen if either candidate comes in is that they're not going to stop what's already going on. And I got to be honest with you, I don't even think all the Bernie Sanders and all those types of people, you would literally need an army of those people, and then they would need bulletproof vests to fucking, that's how powerful corporations are, and that's how off the fucking rails we are. I don't know, which is why I'm trying to focus on the propositions. And I wish if anybody can find a fucking website out there that not only lets me know what I'm voting for, but lets me know what is attached to it. Like, because who doesn't want to improve the schools? But, whenever they have stuff like that, like, hey, let's clean up the drinking water, then they attach all this other evil shit underneath it. I don't know. It's very overwhelming. So it's so fucking overwhelming that you're asking a stand-up comedian what's going to happen. Or maybe you just did because you want to hear me make a fucking ass of myself. Yeah, I got to tell you something else. The fucking watching this World Series, I've gone back and forth about who the fuck I'm rooting for. I mean, how do you do it? One team's waiting fucking 70, not quite 70 years, right? 68 years. Is that what it is? Yeah, 68 years. The other team hasn't even been to the fucking World Series in 71 years. And I know you guys think, well, Bill, you're a fucking Red Sox fan. How come you're not for the Cubs? I was totally for the Cubs until I saw the 30 for 30 on fucking Bartman. And when I watched it, all of their, hey, let's play two, hey, we're the lovable fucking losers. We always show up. We just root for them. All of that went out the window. The way that they fucking, what they did to that kid, I just looked at that shit going like, that's exactly what would have happened to that if someone in Boston did that, New York, Philly, Cleveland. These Cubs fans, for all their fucking, Mr. Smith goes to Washington, fucking apple pie and Chevrolet way that they're just like us. They're fucking animals. I'm not saying they're as bad as Bills fans or that fucking franchise. Those cunts. That time I was wearing a Patriots hat, it was the Bills Jets. I was rooting for the Bills. I'm taking a piss in the bathroom and somebody pushed me from behind while I was taking the piss. What kind of a fucking coward? Maybe there's a reason they lost 4 in a fucking row. I used to think it was because of Marv Levy. He was just too nice to win a fucking Super Bowl. And he went up against Jimmy Johnson. Let's get him some hookers and a Corvette, right? And fucking whatever that other guy's name is, Jerry Jones, with his Real Housewife fucking looking face. Good Lord. That guy always looks like, he got like 1st degree burns on his face, or maybe like slightly like into the 2nd degrees. But he was like, all right. He refused medical treatment and he just put some salve on his face. I know. I'm going hard this week. I don't know why. So anyways, let me get back to the Cubs thing. So, right out of the gate, not only is the country, it seems, for the Chicago Cubs, it's kind of having this vibe of this foregone conclusion that they're kind of going to win this thing. So, I have family, or I had family back in the day, out in Ohio. My grandmother worked for the Cleveland Press, and way back in the day, I had family, I just had family out there, right? And so, growing up, I kind of was, I was always a Red Sox fan, but, I kind of, through my relatives, also kind of rooted for the Indians. You know what I mean? Like I didn't mind the Indians, even though they were in our division way back in the day. That and the Tigers, you know what I mean? Just because of relatives, cousins, and all that shit. So I was just like, I kind of like the fucking Indians. And, that Steve Bartman shit, like the level that they took that to, that's exactly what would have happened in Philly and all this shit. If it happened out in L.A., that poor kid would have got killed. You know what I mean? Or San Diego or Sacramento or Fresno or one of these fucking lunatic fucking cities out here where they take sports. Oakland way too seriously. San Francisco. So it made me just kind of fucking sort of pull back. And then also, it's like, you know what? I'm kind of over these fucking cities that have 2 professional teams in one sport. It's like Chicago won a World Series. They won it in 2005. And that whole fucking thing where it's like, well, that was for the south side of the city. So what, you need another one for the north side? Fuck the White Sox and the Cubs. If one of them wins, just fucking jump on a subway or walk 3 blocks downtown or uptown and join the fucking parade already. Same thing with the Yankees and the Mets, the Lakers and the Clippers, and everything in fucking New York. Giants, Jets, Yankees, Mets, fucking Rangers, Islanders, Knicks, and Nets. Just fuck off with that shit already. It's a New York team. If they win, buy your championship hat and go down there and just be happy that, especially New York, that you're so fucking filthy, stinking fucking rich that you can have 8 teams where everybody else is doing backflips if they just have 1 in every sport. I know. Isn't it amazing that New York has all those fucking teams and they don't win that much? You'd think that, Jesus Christ, you got 8 at-bats every fucking year. The fucking Yankees, I swear to God, are like the sugar daddy of New York City. You know what I mean? The Giants are the favorite son, and everybody else is getting written out of the will. That's basically how it works with the sports in New York. You know what? New York should get 3 teams in every fucking city. Maybe they could fucking do something other than the Yankees and the Giants. I have totally fucking respect for them. But Jesus Christ, the fucking Knicks should combine with the Nets. You know, make like a fucking dream team of those 2 shit shows. Same thing with the Rangers and the Islanders. You know, I don't know. The Jets and the Mets, I don't know what they should do. They should both retire and they should start playing badminton. Oh, Jesus, Bill. So anyway, so I'm really fucking sitting there and I'm loving seeing Terry Francona killing it. And it gets all the way up to 3-1. All right? And I don't know, something happened, okay? My Cleveland friends, comedians, one of them in particular he's just talking all this shit. And blah, 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 blah. And he starts, we won the basketball. Now we're going to win the baseball. You know, you watch, we're going on a fucking run. Yada, yada, with no fucking respect. And he's talking to a fan from Boston. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, you're going to win 2 in one fucking year? Yeah, we did that. We did that a couple of times. And then we won we did all of this other shit. I'm not fucking throwing that in your face. I'm always the guy going like, I don't know, we'll see. I don't know, the other team's tough. I never believe we're going to do it until we do it. And then we do, then I'm fucking psyched. And you can go back to my podcast. I wasn't even a cunt when we beat Seattle. So these guys are acting like such fucking cunts. You know what I mean? Oh, we got LeBron. We're going to fucking do it again this year. Oh, LeBron? Oh, you mean the guy that you guys all burned his jersey and you're all done with? Verzi called that one. Oh, Paul Verzi called that one. Paul Verzi, fucking when he was in Miami, and these Cleveland fans were saying, fuck that guy, blah, 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 blah. Verzi said to him, you guys are all going to be sucking his dick when he comes back to town. And they were like, no way, that's never going to happen. Well, it's happening. That whole city's on their fucking knees. So anyways, so at some point after they went up 3-1, I went back to the Cubs. The reality is I don't give a shit who wins this fucking thing because it's going to be great for one city. It's going to be devastating for the other city, obviously. But so here's the deal. This is what's at stake with this World Series. If the Cubs win, the Indians become the Cubs. They become the ones that have gone the fucking longest, all right? So they can't fucking lose, all right? If Cleveland wins, all right, not only the Cubs still the Cubs, as far as my quick research showed me, the next people in line for second place would be the Colt 45s / Houston Astros that started in 1962. In 1962, the Chicago Cubs were already 54 years into their drought. Okay? 1962 is 54 years from where the fuck we are right now. Right? So the Astros are 54 years into their drought where the Cubs were in 1962, and the Cubs are now twice that at 108. I don't know what the fuck that means. Does that mean that you should go play the lottery right now? 54, 62, 108? I have no idea what that fucking means. It's just, you know, one of those number things. But I got to tell you, it's almost fitting that if the Cubs were going to win it, that they would torture their fucking fans to this level. And it's fitting that if the Indians were going to lose it, they would go up 3-1 to lift their fucking team's hopes. This is why I think the Cubs are going to win. If Terry Francona wasn't in that dugout, the master. By the way, that guy needs a nickname like the Assassin. He needs like a boxer nickname. Like, remember Lights Out, James Toney? You know? Or the Executioner, Bernard Hopkins. He needs a name like that. It's just that he doesn't look like that. But that's exactly what that guy is. All right? But what I'm saying is, because of what these teams have done to their fans, it would be fitting that the fucking Cubs wouldn't just go in and win the fucking thing so their fans could just relax and finally enjoy a series. They would have to go down 3-1 before they'd come back. And then Cleveland couldn't just lose the series. They'd have to go up 3-1. So this is what's crazy about you're up 3-1. You're like, holy fuck. You're starting to take the wire off the champagne bottle at that point, right? But then all of a sudden, you fucking lose game 5. And just instantly, it's like, holy fuck, if we lose the next one, it's all tied up. So now the pressure is on the Indians. I'll tell you, the Cubs are going in there. They're playing loose. They got nothing to lose other than fucking a 108-year drought. I don't know who's on the mound. I don't know what. But I'm going to say the obvious. The Cubs got to go. They got to score early and make the fucking Indians tighten up. That's what the fuck they got to do. Or that's what's going to happen in Game 6. Either the Cubs are going to score early, Indians fucking tighten up, and then lose the game, and then we get a Game 7. Or if the Indians go up early, it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a shit show. I'm hoping the first thing happens because I want to see a Game 7 against a team that hasn't won it in 108 years and a team that hasn't won it in fucking, 68 fucking years. 68's adorable to a Red Sox fan. That's fucking hilarious. I mean, I don't give a fuck. That's where we were there in like the 70s, right? What was 68 for us? Or was that the Mets? Let's see, 1918 to 1978. That's 60 years. Right? Yeah, 86. That was 1986. So you're just at Bill Buckner. Go fuck yourselves. You know? You're just at Bill Buckner. As far as where I'm coming from, you got to go another 18 years to 2004. So I guess I won't root for the Indians. No, I can't. I don't know. My relatives got me into the Indians. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to root for here. You know what I'm rooting for? I'm rooting for a Game 7. Rooting for a Game 7. And then they're going to go up against each other. And one team's finally going to win that critical Game 7 and get the monkey off their back. And then another one is just going to add another giant cinder block right on the fucking hearts of their fans. It's going to, oh, God. This one has train wreck written all over it.